So in the previous class we have studied about the structural organization of cell, where we have studied that all the cells are having three things in common, that is cell membrane, nucleus and cytoplasm. So cell membrane is also known as plasma membrane, which we had discussed in the last class. So now we will discuss about the nucleus. So nucleus is a spherical body. It is a spherical body surrounded by double membrane called the nuclear membrane. You can see the structure of the nucleus. If you will see, the structure will look like this. So this will be the structure of nucleus, where nucleus is looking like a spherical body surrounded by double membrane. Surrounded by double membrane or double covering is there. So that is called nuclear membrane, and it has several pores. It has several pores. These pores are called nuclear pore. These pores are called nuclear pore, which allow the transfer of materials from inside the nucleus to outside. That means through the nuclear pore only elements or substances are getting transferred from inside of the nucleus to outside environment of the cell. So that we will discuss later. So first here this double layer membrane, that is called nuclear membrane, and these pores are called nuclear pore. The cell, the nucleus is considered as the brain of the cell. You can see here an entangled mass of thread-like structures that is known as chromatin fibers or chromatin material. It is visible as an entangled mass of thread-like structure. Whenever cell is about to divide, this chromatin material gets organized into chromosomes. When cell is not dividing, that time it is present as chromatin fibers, and when the cell is going to divide, then the nucleus that contains chromosomes, because of this chromatin fiber, which are visible as rod-shaped structures. These chromosomes, these chromatin fibers are organized to chromosomes, which are visible as rod-like structure, rod-shaped structure. That is possible only when the cell is about to divide, because the chromosomes contain information for inheritance of features from parents to the next generation in the form of DNA. DNA means the full form of DNA is deoxyribonucleic acid. So chromosomes are mainly composed of DNA and protein. So chromosomes are made up of DNA and protein. So chromosomes contains necessary information for inheritance of features from parents to the next generation in the form of DNA. DNA is the main responsible. DNA molecules contain the information necessary for constructing and organizing cells. The functional segment of DNA, these are called genes. That is called genes. So because of the DNA only, the inheritance of features are transferred from parents to the next generation. So its functional segment are called as genes. So in a cell which is not dividing, the DNA is present as a part of chromatin fibers. A cell when it is not dividing, the DNA is present as a part of chromatin fibers and visible as these thread-like structures. When the cell is about to divide, these structures are organized into visible rod-like structures, which is known as chromosomes, means rod-shaped chromosomes. Then it is dividing, because the nucleus plays a central role in cellular reproduction. That means the process by which a single cell divides to form two new cells. So the process in which a single cell is divided to form two new cells, that is called cellular reproduction, and for that nucleus plays a crucial part, or nucleus plays a central role along with the environment in determining the way the cell will develop and what form it will exhibit at maturity by directing the chemical activities of the cell. Because of the chemical activities of the cell, it determines the way the cell will develop and what form it will exhibit at maturity. So mostly DNA is responsible, because its functional segment is called genes, and genes carry the characteristics of a cell to the new cells that are formed during the cell division. So here chromatin fibers are present, which is observed as, or which is looking like an entangled mass of thread-like structures. When the cell is about to divide, these are organized into rod-shaped chromosomes, These are organized to rod-shaped, visible rod-shaped chromosomes. So when the cell is only, it is possible when the cell is about to divide, and then the chromosomes carry the information for inheritance of features from parents to the next generation in the form of DNA and protein, and the functional segment of DNA is called genes. And here you can see one or more granules like structure, that is called nucleolus. One or more granules are also present in the nucleus. This is the main site for protein synthesis. So this is the main site for protein synthesis, important site for protein synthesis. So from here protein is there, we are getting protein synthesis. It is taking place here in the nucleolus. And DNA, the chromosomes are made up of DNA and protein, where DNA, the functional segment of DNA is genes, or you can say DNA, which transfer the characteristics of a cell to the new cells that are formed during cell division. So this nucleus plays a central role in the cell division or cellular reproduction. That means when the cell divides and forms two new cells, the role of nucleus is very important, because depending on the chemical activities of the cell, it will direct the way, or it will develop the cell will develop, and it will direct that what form it will exhibit at maturity. So this is very important for the reproduction. And when the cell is not dividing, that time the DNA is present as a chromatin material. The DNA is present as chromatin material, or it is visible as entangled mass of thread like structures. And whenever cell is about to divide, these chromatin fibers or chromatin materials get organized into chromosomes. So in some organisms like bacteria, the nuclear region of the cell are poorly defined due to the lack of, or due to the absence of, nuclear membrane. So such type of organism whose cells lack a nuclear membrane, they are called prokaryotics. And organisms with cells having a nuclear membrane, they are called eukaryotics. So depending on the nuclear membrane, or depending on the nuclear region, some are having nuclear region very poorly developed or poorly defined due to the absence of nuclear membrane, and some are having very nuclear region very well developed because of the presence of nuclear membrane or other cell organelles. So on the basis of these, organisms are classified into two types, that is prokaryotics and eukaryotics. So in prokaryotics, the organisms whose cells lack nuclear membrane, those type of organisms are known as prokaryotics, and the organism with cells having a nuclear membrane, they are called eukaryotics. So prokaryotes and eukaryotes, or the organism whose cells lack a nuclear membrane, they are called as prokaryotes. Organism with cell having a nuclear membrane, they are called eukaryotes. And along with prokaryotes, along with the lack of nuclear membrane, they also lack most of the other organelles, cytoplasmic organelles, that is present in the eukaryotic cells. So many of the functions of such organelles are performed by poorly organized parts of the cytoplasm, but here they are having a well defined nuclear region surrounded by nuclear membrane, and here they are having a nuclear region which is poorly developed and it is not surrounded by nuclear membrane. So here you can see that along with that, here chromosome you will find only a single chromosome. Here more than one chromosomes are present. So membrane bound cell organelles are found in the eukaryotes, but membrane bound cell organelles are absent in the prokaryotes. So here the function is taken place, or the function is performed by poorly organized parts of the cytoplasm, but here all the organelles are having membrane bound, or all the nuclear region is well developed. So here the function is also carried by different cell organelles. Different functions are carried in the eukaryotes. So that we will study in the cytoplasm. The next part, I had told you that in the organization of cell, three parts are, that is cell membrane, plasma membrane, nucleus and cytoplasm. So now we will go cytoplasm. So here you can see in an animal cell the fluid which is present inside the plasma membrane, that is considered as cytoplasm. Here you can see it is a cytoplasm is a fluid. Cytoplasm is the fluid content inside the plasma membrane. Here you can see, so this is cytoplasm. This fluid is known as cytoplasm. Even in the plant cell also the fluid is present inside the plasma membrane, which is considered as cytoplasm. You can see in the plant cell also fluid is present, which is inside the cell membrane, which is considered as the cytoplasm. Cytoplasm contains many specialized cell organelles, and each of these organelles perform a specific function for the cell. So the cell organelles are enclosed by membranes. Here the cell organelles are also enclosed by membrane. Lysosome or mitochondria or endoplasmic reticulum, we can see all the cell organelles, it is closed by membrane or enclosed by membrane. So in prokaryotes the cell organelles are also absent. In prokaryotes some of the cell organelles are also absent. So eukaryotic cells have nuclear membrane as well as membrane enclosed organelles. So in the cytoplasm is the fluid content which is found inside the cell membrane. So it is found inside the plasma membrane or the cell membrane. It contains several organelles like you had studied already in the previous class. Endoplasmic reticulum, mitochondria, lysosome, Golgi apparatus. So all these are known as cell organelles which is present in the cytoplasm. So these cell organelles in prokaryotes or prokaryotic cell, these membrane bound cell organelles are absent, but in eukaryotes or eukaryotic cell, membrane bound cell organelles are present. And even you can take the example of viruses. Viruses lack any membranes, hence do not show the characteristics of life until they enter a living body and use its cell machinery to multiply. So the best example of significance of membranes, that is virus, we can take as the example for the significance of membranes, that viruses, they lack any membranes, hence they do not show any characteristics of life until they enter the living body and uses its cell machinery to multiply. So in the next class we will study about the cell organelles, that is endoplasmic reticulum, mitochondria or different cell organelles we will study, and their function also we will study.